Yeah, yeah. They don't know tough. Come on, they don't know what it's like to be a fighter. They got it easy. Yeah. For sure.
All right, immediately after your last fight, you called to rebook Mac Brown. Why does that fight intrigue you so much to the point where you're like, hey, we gotta rebook this because this is the fight that I need to have?
Yeah, he's a legend in the sport. He's a legend in the sport. He's been doing it a long time. I remember watching him from The Ultimate Fighter. I am a fan. Um, respect the guy, everything he's done, everything. But what really most excites me is the way he fights. He brings it. He comes to put you away. Comes to finish you. He's hard nosed. He's freaking tough. So that's what excites me the most. People. He's not going to come in there and just mess around or try to hold me and squeak by or whatever. He's going to come in there and he's going to try to put me away. And like I said, that's the thing that excites me the most about this matchup. And really want to test myself against him and go in there and show that I'm the better man.
Both of you guys are super tough. Can that actually be a weapon inside the cage?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously you got to use it properly. I don't want to go in there and just take a bunch of shots because I can and, think I'm going to wear him down or anything like that. I definitely don't think like that. But, it's definitely a thing, I think there's people like mentally and physically tough, and I think we're both of those things. And, we're very similar. We're very aggressive. We're very, go after each other, very tough guys. I think we're very similar. And, yeah, man, I think it's just a super exciting fight for me. That's why I was really anxious to rebook it. Super glad it came back together. And yeah, I'm calling this. Me and my camp, we've been calling this the legend versus legend camp, man. This is it. I'm a legend in my own sense, and he's done a lot in MMA. I've done some things, but we're both legends, and we're gonna go at it
because of the stylistic matchup, and a lot of people are expecting this brawl to happen. Many aspects are glanced over. What do you see in his skill set that makes Brown unique?
He's really good in the clinch. He's good in the clinch, good in close, dangerous with elbows. He throws a lot. He uses a lot more of his tools, like all 8 weapons. His knees, kicks, elbows, punches, all that. So he's dangerous everywhere in the striking department. I think he's gonna wrestle. He's gonna wrestle hard, and but I think he'll strike too. So I'm looking forward, man. I'm ready to take this fight anywhere it wants to go, and I'm ready to dominate in every position. And I'm ready to get after him, man. I'm ready to get my hands on him, put some leather on his face, maybe a shin across the face. I don't know, man. I'm ready to get after him. If he comes to wrestling, I'm gonna out wrestle him. Like wherever it goes, I'm ready to take him there, and be the better man in those situations.
You mentioned 8 limbs, right? What about the 9th limb? The head. Do you ever see MMA maybe introducing headbutts eventually?
I swear it was just gosh, it had to be one of these fight cards recently. I swear someone headbutted someone on the ground.
Yeah.
They had like literally used their head for a second, and they're like, the commentator's like, "Oh, he just headbutted him," And the ref told him, and like kind of caught it, but it was just like a headbutt to the chest or something like that. But I don't think it's going to be something that they incorporate back into fighting at all, MMA at least. Man, imagine mounting a guy and just headbutting him to death. Jeez.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you could have your arms tied up, but the head is still there, And
yeah, exactly.
We've seen it in the past, I think, who was it? Mark Coleman? He was the one that was headbutting people back in the day, maybe? I'm not for sure. But
yeah. I can't remember who it was. Yeah.
But there was some crazy, like, serious ground and pound with the headbutts.
with the head.
It's crazy. Yeah, I don't think we're ever gonna see that, but it's fun to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. It's wild, man. Wild. It is. Crazy in the beginning how things were just so, just open. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the guy that what was he? He was in the side control and it was just punching the other dude in the nuts. You remember that? That was the UFC.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I can't even believe that was actually a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, will to survive, baby. Will to survive.
Definitely. Your last fight, man. You got back into the win column. Was that performance satisfying for you?
It was not. No, actually, it just wasn't satisfying enough to me. I don't think I would have went out there and performed to the best of my ability, and was able to put on the performance that I wanted. Um, change of opponents last minute, whatever. That doesn't matter. It is what it is. I'm ready to fight anybody. Was ready to fight anybody going into that fight too. Um, so it didn't pan out like how I wanted it to. Wasn't able to execute how I wanted to. Um, it wasn't my greatest performance, and I'm looking forward to go ahead and put that in the rearview mirror and put on an even greater performance this time around.
Yeah, it was a unique fight week for you. Was that the wildest fight week? You know what I mean? Have you had other fight weeks where it was just like complete chaos and you actually did get to step into the cage and fight?
Uh, kind of. I mean, probably nothing in the sense of where I didn't have the opponent or anything like that. But definitely like other things coming up in fight week that could possibly throw me off or whatever, or maybe keep me from a fight or something. But um, so definitely there's some like crazy things that I had to deal with emotionally and stuff before, but nothing as far as ever not knowing an opponent, and that's for me it didn't really matter on the opponent either. So um, that honestly wasn't a big deal for me.
Two straight camps for Matt Brown. Did you find out anything about him this time around that the team maybe missed the first time preparing for him?
We touch on Matt Brown really just touch on his skills and what he's gonna likes to do, possibly going to do, what he may be working on, whatever, getting him back, improving on. But really, we spent a lot of my time more focused on improving my game. Spent a lot of time with these guys, training partners, and just working on getting better. Getting better in every situation. Obviously, strengthening my weaker areas or things that people may think are weaker areas, and getting better and better. So there is some a little bit touching on things that Matt Brown does in the first camp, and maybe some other things that we started picking up and like, oh, we didn't really touch on this, really touched on in this camp, but really a lot of the time is focused on improving myself and making myself a lot sharper, and it's going to be so that way when we get in there it'll be a different fight from whatever film he's watched. Of course there's going to be things I like to do and he's probably going to pick up on those. That's fine. But we're going to bring multiple things to the table, and he won't be able to catch a drift of what's going on in there.
Looks like you have a few guys in training camp. How has the room been the last couple of weeks?
It's been a great room, man. We have a lot of good guys, some up and coming guys, but they're super tough. All different kind of backgrounds. We got Chris Weidman in there who's working on getting back into fight shape and building his comeback, and so it's awesome to have him in there, be able to work with him. Chris Honeycutt, that guy's a machine. He's moving around in there trying to get booked to fight. Things have fallen out. Paul Carson is an upcoming guy. He's looking to make his pro debut soon. And, man, he's a hammer. Tom Lane is another hammer that I'm working with. These are some good guys who are going to make some noise in the division in their weight classes and everything in the sport really soon down the road. Chase Gamble is a veteran in MMA who's been with the team for a long time. Always get a good look for him. Kerry Miller, a heavyweight guy that, hard to get him some fights, but he's going to be making some noise in there as well. So I got a great group of people. Obviously, my coach Jeff Jimmo, running things, putting things together for us, and we're really having a good time. And it's been a great camp, having fun, and man, we're all just excited to get in there. And I'm excited to get in there, put on a show, and all these guys are pumped for me as well. So.
How has it been having Chris Weidman in there, especially coming off that broken leg, man? It's got to be inspirational, dude. You're an inspiration, but he's also an inspiration at the same time. You guys are battling for inspiration right there.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's great having him back in there. It's great seeing him move around, and, it's good to see him like doing, moving around well and, getting into the practices and everything. Me and him have talks about it too. Like, what, how did I, work the comeback? What did I do? How did I go about training and things like that? Just so he can get an idea too of, I'm sure he, wants to put something together where he can, start implementing into his training and everything, and getting back and like how I did it and stuff like that. And he's going to do it just fine. I mean, like I said, he's moving around great. God, he's a force for sure. He's a hammer guy. You know, he's super strong and talented, and man, it's great to be able to share the room with him, and especially to see him, you know, come back from his leg and everything and all the work, and be able to still move around good and still go after it, man. It, like you said, it's inspirational to me, and you know, I've been through a similar situation, so I feel for him.
Yeah, definitely, and yeah, I can't wait to see him come back, man. Just like
Yeah.
you know, you came back, so it's gonna be fun. The fight, man, is gonna be in Brown's home state. There'll be a packed crowd, which is gonna make this fight much better, you know. And both you guys step forward and throw heat. You know, heading into this fight, what are the emotions for you?
Man, like I said, I'm super excited. I didn't think this matchup was going to happen again. From the sounds of talking with the UFC and the matchmaker and everything, it didn't sound like it was going to come together again. Even though I was pushing for it, even when I found out Columbus was a thing, I was pushing for that. Like, I will go fight him in Columbus. Let's do it. You know, I don't care. Thankfully, you know, I got the contract back, and it's the fight again. So, you know, probably thank you to Matt Brown too. I think it's a fight he likes too. It's exciting for him. You know, easy to wake up out of bed to go fight a guy who wants to fight you. You know, so um, thanks to him for taking the fight again, and you know, the UFC for making it happen again. And you know, the fact that it's in Columbus and pretty much his backyard, packed stadium, most likely most people cheering for him. But none of that matters, because I mean, it came full circle, man. I really believe that this is where it was meant to be the whole time. You know, it was meant, everything happened, lined up to be right now, for us to fight right here in Columbus. And man, I'm bringing the perfect storm, man. That's it. There's a perfect storm coming, and it's going to be raining down on them.
You're pretty calm guy, man. You know, except for when you step into the cage. Have you ever let like emotions get out of control before or even during a fight?
No, I'd say probably not. You know, nothing in there for sure is gonna like rile me up or whatever. I don't care if you talk trash or whatever. None of that really gets me going. I'm just in my zone. If you talk trash, actually probably even better. It makes it more fun, whatever. So you know, I'm in there having a good time, man. When I step in that cage, it's like weight lifted off my shoulders, man. I'm finally, you know, in training we're going hard. You know, the guys are trying to push me to the limits and, you know, try to better me and everything like that. Uh, but in the end, I'm not trying to kill these guys. I'm not trying to, you know, put them away and anything like that. You know, so I finally get to, when I step in there, it's like I said, weight lifted off my shoulders. I get to be me to 100% and just go out there and show what I'm all about and be able to let go. So it's really freeing for me, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and you know, nothing really matches it. So, uh, and I just, nothing really shakes me. I'm pretty, like I said, like you said, I'm pretty calm and relaxed guy, you know, and I'm just in there soaking up the moment and having fun.
So what does that look like? You being free inside the cage against Matt Brown?
A whole lot of damage going on, you know. You know, some back and forth. Obviously, I'm a realistic guy. You know, there's going to be some back and forth. I'm going to get hit. I know that. But you better believe I'm going to hit him a lot. And, you know, I think I 100% believe this is, you know, the fight's going to be finished. It's not going to make it the distance. And if it does make it the distance, then damn, we're both going to be a bloody mess. And it's going to be a fight of the year contender. So, but I honestly don't believe it's going to make it the distance. It's going to be a finish, and you better believe I'm going to give my all to get that finish.
You've been trading wins and losses for a few years now. You know, getting back on a streak, you know, is so important for especially a UFC fighter and snapping that pattern. Does that ever, you know, sit in the back of your mind heading into a fight?
You know, obviously, you know, yeah, I've been, you know, ups and downs. I've also gone through a lot, you know, back surgery, emergency surgery. So, you know, not so much that. I try not to worry about those things. You know, what I worry about the most is just fighting to my best ability. You know, that's all I can control. If it goes to the judges, I can't control that. If it goes, you know, all I can do is control um, my skill level and fighting to the best of my ability. If I go out there and fight to the very best of my ability, and well, I'm one damn hard person to beat. So Um, really, I try not to think about that at all. It is what it is. If it's, you know, if I can snap it, awesome. If I can go on a streak, even better. That's the plan. That's what we want to do. But I'm not thinking about like, oh, I have to snap this. I have to go out there. And I just know I have to. I'm going to go out there and perform. 100%. I'm going to go out there and perform. I'm going to be the best me. This fight, you're going to see it. It's going to be the best me yet.
All right. A couple questions, outside
Yeah.
of the fight. MMA fans, man, they're some of the wildest people out there. What do MMA fans obsess about that fighters don't really care about?
What's something they obsess about that fighters don't really care about? Everything. I don't know. I think there's, a lot of things, I guess. But for me, it's like, I think I don't know. A lot of things. Gosh, man, there's like a laundry list of things they complain about out there. So I'd say probably like haircuts or the way a person dresses, maybe like for me, I can care less. Like I'm not at a fashion show, so it is what it is. I don't care. They're all like, oh, this guy, look at him. Or even, I'd say even my body type, really, like I'm not all shredded up and everything else. So like, oh, this guy, he don't even care about himself. He's a bum, that stuff. Like for me, that doesn't even cross my mind. It's like, I got that sleeper body, baby. That sleeper body. It's like you get a car, it looks like junk, but it's all souped up under the hood. Right here.
You got that body where you just like wake up in the morning, get up and start fighting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And people aren't expecting it. I mean,
Exactly.
It's perfect.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's not about that. You know what I mean? I remember fans would obsess about Nate Diaz when he walked out in his jeans and like tennis shoes. Remember a long time ago? Like everybody would be wearing like their shorts. Nate Diaz would walk out, Nick Diaz with their jeans on, and then take them off. And everyone's like, "What?" What's? I was like, "There's nothing. Anybody could wear whatever they want, man. Now they have uniforms, but before just the Wild West, so it's all good." MMA, man, is such a tough sport, dude. Like just watching it, it's so entertaining and so intriguing, but it's tough, man, especially from a fighter's point of view. It's grueling mentally, physically. What is the level of suffering do you think an athlete has to endure to get to the elite levels of the sport like the UFC?
A lot, but I think honestly, saying that, like I think the future is going to be less and less, damage, because the future is these kids are starting at a younger age. I think damage wise, like in the training room, as long as you have a good coaching staff, everything like that, where you're not getting damaged in training room. Training room, I think, is more damage than any fight, really. Like the amount of over the time of sparring and everything, even grappling and hard rolls, hard wrestling, all that is wear and tear on the body. But I think like the future is even brighter of being more safe, being more cautious about your training, the impacts and everything that your body's taking. And these kids are starting way younger and are going to be so much better, when they're older. Like I'm excited for matchups of the future, man. These kids starting so young, man, it's going to be just the fights are going to be insane, and they're going to be insane in every position. So it's really exciting. And I think that, right now there's a lot of wear and tear on the body, and especially fight wise. But training is the biggest thing, you got to train smart. And that's something I'm realizing, later in my career, rather, before it was like literally I'd spar every day, and then it got to the lab, and didn't spar still hard or whatever, but it wasn't as much. But yeah, early on it was like every single day was a fight, So I don't think that's how it is now with the new generation. So thank goodness.
You might be sitting on the couch, 10, 15, 20 years from now watching the sport and saying like, oh, these guys are soft.
Yeah. They don't know tough. Come on. They don't know what it's like to be a fighter. They got it easy. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. One last thing, man. Crypto, man. Crypto has become like this huge thing intertwined with mixed martial arts. What is your take on crypto, and would you ever dance with the idea of, accepting your fight purse in cryptocurrency?
Honestly, I don't know a whole lot about crypto. It's something I'm kind of just now kind of trying to figure out and get into. Some buddies are, trying to teach me and help me learn about it. But um, man, it sounds like it's something of, it's out right now. It's like sounds like it's something of the future. Like it is crazy. But I mean, I'm sure a debit card or a credit card, was that at one point. So um, direct deposit, shit. If you didn't get, and if you told someone back in the day direct deposit, they'd be like, "Oh no, I need cash." Like, oh, So, wow, I think it definitely could be the future, man. It's crazy because there's so many different, I don't know what they are, brands or companies or whatever that are doing it. So, obviously, I feel like one would have to overtake a big chunk of it or something. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but because I don't know enough about it. But at this moment in time, I probably would not even think about taking my money in crypto. Like direct deposit is like I'd be like cash, but direct deposit works, I guess. So, but yeah, at this time, I would not take my purse in crypto, especially because I heard like it fluctuates and stuff, can go up and down and everything. So like I could make this much and then all of a sudden it's like dropped down a bunch of money and I'm like, well, shoot, that didn't work out. I ended up fighting for pennies. What the heck? Not,
One day,
but
one day.
maybe
it just
one day.
drops,
I definitely think it could probably, who knows? Could be the next thing and worldwide, almost like everything come together into crypto instead of, England having different things, South America having different things. I'll just be one.
You make a great point about the debit card, man. I remember checkbooks was a thing for a while, like for a
Yeah,
long time, right? Remember your parents would pull
yeah,
out the checkbook at the grocery store and be like, "All right, how much you need?" And then it was just a piece of paper that actually was some cash. You're like, how did that even work right there? But
yeah. You're like, how'd you get away with that? You're
yeah,
like, you got the groceries with that piece of paper?
yeah.
What?
The checkbook fraud and all that stuff came around. You know
Oh
what
gosh, yeah, exactly, exactly. So like, I mean, you got to think at
I
one
mean?
time there was, the debit card and stuff. People
Mm.
probably question that, like, there's no way, there's no way this is happening. Money moving without even seeing the cash, no way. You know, future,
Well,
man.
it is the future. But there's gonna be money moving, man. March 26th for you, UFC Columbus,
Oh,
man. Fire matchup. Thank you so much, Brian. Always good to catch up. Thank you so much.
yes, man. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.